start a little different. So if I can ask all of you to place both of your feet firmly on the ground. Place both of your hands on your heart. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Release with an audible sigh. Keep your eyes closed and place your hands on your lap with your palms face up, a gesture of receiving. You aren't the same person you were a year ago. And while that person was beautiful, you've outgrown her. To those that don't know you, the trickles of past truths may be too much. The thought of getting to the root of the woman you used to be in order to become the brilliance you are now may be irrelevant. Simply put, you will always be too much for somebody. And you can't expect everyone to be as curious as you are, craving to jump into the mess and beauty that was you then and is you now. Different, the same, constantly evolving, learning, growing, fucking up, making amends, doing the best you can. It's enough. You're enough. All that you've been and continue to become, more than enough. In fact, it's perfect. Every single fucked up piece of that starry constellation that is you. Thank you for bringing your darkness and so the light could truly be seen. Your past got you here. Only you can create from the multitude of lessons that will inevitably follow every move you make. Don't push past these experiences. Don't shove them away. Don't judge yourself or others for choices that you've made. What matters is the you that has arisen and chooses to fully show up each day, raw in your humanness, real in your watery imperfections and wilted rose petal fields of a journey well traveled. You're not broken. You're not damaged. You're a masterpiece, art. How people choose to see you is their perception. Perception is not truth, though. Your scars, your tears, your misspoken words, all necessary to assemble the puzzle that has become the you in this moment. Brave, bold, beautiful. A genius at being human, I bow to you, to your strength and to your struggle, to your dedication to the progression of realizing and fully living in the truth that resides within the newest version of the you right here, right now. Enough. More than. You are all of that wrapped in one delicious female form. Take a deep breath in. Release with an open mouth sigh. And as you feel ready, open your eyes with a smile. Let me see a show of hands. How many of you out there have ever been on a first date that went so well that you agreed to go on a second date? Right. And how many of you remember going on one of these second dates? College years? You know, you thought you had it all figured out? Yeah, we've all been there, right? I was 19, and I had agreed to go on a second date with somebody reluctantly after months of persistence. Got in my car, was listening to some Eminem, because I love hip hop, and I couldn't help but think, was I making the right decision? And you know you have those gut instincts that are nudging you to say yes or no, or maybe you just have no fucking idea what you're supposed to do, and that's okay too. This was definitely one of those moments where I felt myself forcing myself to do something that probably wasn't the best decision, but I'm a rebel by nature, and I like going against the grain and pushing boundaries, and this was no different. Like I said, I was 19. and I thought I knew everything. So I show up to this guy's house because I didn't feel safe enough to have him pick me up. Red flag. And he asked me to come inside to get a jacket because we were going to go to a movie and he didn't want me to get cold. You know, I thought this was sweet. So I go into his house and he says, hey, why don't you come back here in my room and pick out a jacket? Oh, no, it's okay. You can grab one for me. Oh, no, really? Come back here. So I did. And as I walked into his bedroom door, his 200-plus frame grabbed me. And what started as an innocent kiss quickly turned into a fight for my life. As he lifted me up, and I begged him, please stop. I don't want this. He didn't give a fuck. Because the truth is, ladies, hurt people, and it's never about you. So whether it's rejection or loss or abuse, it doesn't matter. You don't matter to the abuser. This is why you need to matter more to yourself. As he threw me on his bed and pulled down my pants, I was sobbing. Please stop. Just let me go. But that wasn't his plan. He knew he was bigger. He knew he was stronger. He knew he could take my power. And I did everything I could to stop. It still didn't matter. You know, our bodies are so intelligent. And it's in these moments where we feel so powerless that we're able to, for me, black out. But there are the moments in that experience that I will never forget. Like the smell of his cologne and aftershave, or the way his breath hit my neck, or the way my fingernails dug into his back as I begged him to please just stop. And as he finished, he stood up, pulled up his pants, and he said, see, baby, I told you you'd like it. And he walked out. I laid on his bed, tears down my face, my pants around my ankles, violated, embarrassed, ashamed. And it took everything in me to crawl from the bed into the bathroom and just cry. When I stood up and looked in the mirror, who the fuck is this girl looking at me? I had no idea who that was. This doesn't happen to me. I have my shit together. I'm a strong, independent woman. I was raised to be that way. People don't take advantage of me. But there is always another plan, and it's up to us to stay open to receiving whatever gifts we are being given, even in the moments that feel shitty. So I wiped the mascara off my face, pulled myself together, and I walked out of his house without a word. It was raining. It was October of 2000. And I remember getting into my silver VW Jetta, because that's what all the 20-somethings were driving at the time. And I sat there and I thought, no, I'm way too stubborn to let him take this from me. Nope, it's not happening. And I looked up, I'm not a religious person, but I looked up to the sky and I prayed and I said, please allow me the space to forgive. I will not leave this place right here, right now, until I've forgiven him. And I don't know how long I sat there, but I will tell you with certainty, I did not leave until I forgave him. And forgiving him was not about him In fact, forgiving him was really easy for me. But it's because I knew that hurt people hurt people. And this wasn't about me. That was his shit. Other people are gonna have opinions of you. You're going to be rejected. Other people are gonna do things that feel like they're violating either your morals, your values, whatever. And it's not about you. I drove away, free, kind of, because I was 19 and I didn't know what the hell was going on. 3 weeks later, I still hadn't told anybody. And I was at work late one night and I felt really sick. So I ended up going to urgent care because it's all that was open. Hurled over in pain. I can't move, I can't move. They're thinking maybe it's her appendix, whatever. So they get me in right away. Doctor comes back in after running some tests. So we've got your results. You're pregnant. You're fucking kidding me. At this point in my life, I never wanted to have children. And then this happening totally rocked my world. And this is going to sound terrible and controversial, but all I could say was, get it out of me. And the doctor kept saying, okay, I know you're upset. And I was like, no, you don't understand, get it out of me right now. He's like, there are options. I attempted to have an abortion. Again, I know that's controversial. It's what I needed for me. Well, after that procedure, I get a call from the nurse, 24 hours later. So, we've got some news for you. We actually need you to come in right now. I'm actually not feeling very good. Can you just give me the news over the phone? No, we need you to come in right now. You're still pregnant. It's ectopic. And if you don't come in right now, you could die. So for those of you who don't know what that means, I was pregnant in my fallopian tube. So panicked, still not telling anybody what's going on, I go to the doctor, and they gave me my options. You can have surgery, which could prevent you from having kids in the future, or you could go through a series of 4 months of chemotherapy, which will make it, go through your fallopian tubes, and you'll have a better chance at conceiving should you choose to in the future. I didn't know what to do. I chose the latter, and from October to February, every week I went in for chemo injections. This secret was so deep that I truly believe that the next 8 years were a manifestation of secrets kept. I didn't keep the secret from shame or guilt. I kept the secret because I didn't want to be seen differently. I did not speak my truth because I didn't want to be seen differently. That's all ego. That's not me, that's ego. And when we are stuck in a place of ego, when we are so scared of what other people are going to think or how we'll be judged, that doesn't just change us. That changes the paradigm of society. That changes the gifts that we are here to share. And instead of giving, we're now taking the very gift that we were given. Now, I don't know about you ladies, but I am a firm believer that we are never given anything we can't handle, number one. And everything that we are given in our life is truly a gift. But that is up to us. I was not raised to play victim. I was raised to take responsibility for my role. And I was raised to believe that we can change our reality. The next 8 years I spent in and out of the hospital consistently. My 20s, where everyone else was out doing their thing, having a good time, I was literally in hospital beds for weeks on end. Every diagnosis you could possibly think of, yep, got it. How? Because our bodies are intelligent. Because secrets keep us sick. Because by not speaking our truth, we are taking and we are holding on to baggage that blocks the flow of positive energy from coming in. We are not here to be silent. We are here to speak. We are here to rock the world. We are here to shake shit up. We are not here to just be quiet and listen and all of the things that so many of us women have done in business, in relationship. We have the power to stand up for ourselves and each other. Because all of you in this room, I mean when I say together we fall and together we rise, and it is up to us to stand shoulder to shoulder and make sure that every single one of us is seen, is heard, is felt, is honored, adored, respected. And if you see any of your fellow ladies being anything other than that, you get to call them forward. And to the people that are disrespecting them, that are not treating them the way that they deserve to be treated. Maybe that's you, right? I've been there, clearly. Don't judge this, get curious. Start asking the questions, what am I holding on to that is keeping me trapped in this place of not good enough, not worthy, not deserving? We make up these stories based on past conditioning. There's nothing wrong with that. But to have the awareness to know that we get to change that story, that's where the power lies. And every single one of you has that. I am not my story, nor are any of you yours. But what you choose to do with every experience that you encounter in your life is up to you. It is nobody else's responsibility to change your life. If you are stuck in a career that you hate or a relationship that makes you sad, upset, unfulfilled, first step, check in with yourself. What stories are you creating that are keeping you in that place? And again, no judgment. This is all curiosity. Because it's in that space that you get to say no more. And you get to shift. You get to pivot. You get to create a life that is worth living, that lights you up, that keeps you inspired. And then remember that how you show up in the world is ultimately what you're going to attract. So if you're attracting shitty situations, how can you shift? Now, I'm not saying there are not assholes in this world that are going to come into your life. I'm not saying that you called them in. We're like, oh, hey, assholes over here, right? Like, that's not it. But the point is those people are always going to come. And this, I believe, is the universe testing you to say, hey, I see you over there. You hot girl. But what you going to do with this? How are you going to handle this situation? That is 100% your responsibility. I believe every single person in this room is destined for greatness. You are all absolutely incredible. The gifts that you have that maybe you have not even tapped into are so beautiful. And the light within each of you is begging to be set free. And it's going to take you giving yourselves permission to be bright and shiny and over the top and really harness that whole saying, 0 fucks. You don't get to give those anymore. Your life starts now. Your life happens when you invite it in. People will always try to shrink you. People will always try to keep you small. And this is because they are scared, because they see what you've got. Love them. Be compassionate. That doesn't mean they get to stay in your corner. You want people that lift you up. You want people that see the greatness in you and encourage it. When I started sharing my story, it was 4 years after this happened. I did not tell anybody for 4 years. The first person I told was somebody who I would date for 11 years, and it was our second date. How about that? Little different, right? And he held me with such love and compassion that it gave me faith in not just humanity, but men. Sorry, guys in the room, you're all awesome too. But I had created this story that men take what they want and they get the fuck out. That's my shit, right? Like, I get to change that story. After telling him for the first time, I started telling my story publicly. I started speaking in women's groups. I started posting on social media. I started creating videos. My biggest supporters were also my biggest critics. And it wasn't because they were judging. Number one person, my best friend and biggest cheerleader, my mother, who has supported me wholeheartedly in everything that I've ever done in my life. And she could not believe that I would share this story. What it came down to, which she didn't even tell me until this year, she was raped. And by me sharing my story, it brought up all of her old shit. She didn't want to face it. It was too personal. It hurt too much. It was private. I'm not saying you have to go air your dirty laundry, because I get that this is what that is to some people. That's fine. If it feels good for you to share your story, and do it with love, compassion, conviction, confidence, knowing that it is perfect. You are perfect. Your story is your story. It has brought you to the place you are now. Every single thing that you go through in your life is a point for opportunity, lessons, growth, if you choose for it to be. And I would encourage you to look at every aspect of your life with curiosity versus judgment, knowing that there is always another side. Always. Your voice matters. They will try to silence you and make you think that you're not worthy, that you're weak. And when they do, remember this: you're on this planet to pass that test. Your voice has value at its peak, so when they try, speak. Girl, speak. Thank you.